Coming up on the news, Nobel laureate Professor Wole Soyinka calls for unity amongst Nigerians to defeat child or state-taking other afflictions. Kidnapped student, staff of Government Science College Kagara regain freedom as UNICEF expresses delight at news of release. President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief plan for COVID-19 pandemic gets approval of House of Representatives. The Tigers appeals for funding from federal government ahead of 2020 Tokyo Olympics. Peace, it's at our fingertips if we allow it to be. Hello and welcome to our comprehensive news package here on Ogun State Television. I am Olayinka Shodunke. The nation cannot afford to allow child or state taking as a way of life. Therefore, the people must come together as human beings to defeat the afflictions in the country. Nobel laureate and literary icon Professor Wole Soyinka made this known at an award lecture and public presentation of his book, Chronicles of the Happiest People on Earth, authored by him and put together by the Association of Nigerian Authors, Ogun State Chapter, in collaboration with Abeokuta Club, head of the club, Matthew Shomi, completes the report.
Events with the theme National Survivor, put together by Association of Nigerian Authors, Ogun State Chapter Abeokuta Club, is to serve some purposes: to celebrate an international treasure, Anan, Abeokuta and Ogun State proudly showcase to the world, present the new book published by this literary giant, Professor Wole Soyinka, with the title Chronicles of the Happiest People on Earth to the public, honor some other individuals for their contributions to Egbaland, Ogun State and the nation, and bring up ideas on some of the best ways to address the current challenges facing the nation. Professor mood the nation is in requires a complete shutdown of everything and sober reflection on the way out of the conundrum. Said he only honored the award due to the importance attached to it and called for something urgent.
Browsing thing with technology and all that, we need to read books.
The great Egba industrialist, Chief Olatunde Abudu, is the guest of honor and spoke on the occasion.
We should congratulate them for the idea of making this kind of program, and also inviting and ensuring that Professor Soyinka was able to participate.
In his welcome address, the Ogun State chairman of ANA, Engineer Paul Oni, described the event as a great occasion in the life of
the father fends for the children and happens to take care of the children for the upbringing and the rest. But if the children are not doing what they're supposed to do as a person, you know, there are some certain things that Yoruba will say, akogba. I don't believe they are akogbas. When you train your children, they tend to bring up what you train them about. Now, when
they advocated for profitable engagement of the youths and development of the use of the modern surroundings to ensure proper hygiene within the metropolis. Even though there was no restriction of movement, the roads were devoid of vehicular activities, and as the people stayed back at home to partake in the exercise, traders in Kuto Market were joined by officers of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps for the cleaning up exercise, as they were seen sweeping the road and carting away the refuse by the roadside. Shops and business areas were under lock and keys in Chapo Market, as residents also used the day to clean up for Nigerians to always imbibe the spirit of oneness and tolerance in optimizing the potentials of diverse ethnicity for national integration. This was a submission of respondents who spoke with our reporter Adebola Oshomoji on the strategic ways of promoting and maintaining peace and unity in the country. Our reports.
Nigeria is a multi-ethnic and culturally diverse society that has witnessed conflict. Research has shown that African cultures are under threat, as these cultures are in fact being pushed beyond limit of tolerance in manners that suggest danger.
And that is what the government is doing now, by setting up a peacekeeping committee. That peacekeeping committee will enhance engagement between parties so that if a party has been offended, then they will take the matter to the other party, and the two of them can sit together and prefer a solution.
We find ourselves in a country where we have over 250 ethnic groups in the federation, and indeed it's an issue of concern that has both negative and positive, but by the virtue of quality leadership we can optimize the positive aspects. This can be done by looking into the comparative and absolute advantage, where the
opinion that the pathways to end insecurity and other social vices is for Nigerian citizens to embrace the spirit of oneness and tolerance.
We need what we call social rebate generally. So we need to begin to reason as responsible citizens who equally see ourselves as stakeholders.
We just have to coexist. We have to cohabit. There is no how we send somebody. Our constitution does not say that a set of people cannot live in a particular area. But what we need to do is to work out a modality for us coexisting in peace, in harmony.
They also submitted that cultures hold the key to growth, integration, identity, and development.
Then, when you now look at the culture, there is a program introduced by former military head of state, General Yakub Gowon, National Youth Service Corps, for unity and integration, well packaged, initially well implemented, at a point, due to Nigerian factor, insecurity of lives and property, we implement it.
There is thus a strong interrelationship among culture, growth, progress, development, and even natural integration. Adebola Oshomuji, OGTV News.
The kidnapped students and staff of Government Science College Kagara have finally regained their freedom from the bandits in Niger State. This was disclosed by the State Governor, Abubakar Bello, while receiving the students and staff of the Government Science College Kagara.
Happy to announce this afternoon the rescue of the 38 abducted Science Secondary School Kagara students. They were rescued early this morning at about 4 a.m. in the morning, and I can confirm that all rescued victims from Kagara Science College are here, 38 in number, even though we have one still in the hospital suffering from excessive exhaustion. They are back here with us peacefully. They've been medically checked, and I believe the medical team will monitor them.
A total of 27 students, there are 3 staff members and 12 members of the family were adopted after the attack on the Kagara school in the early hours of Wednesday. Niger State Governor Abubakar Bello has ordered the immediate closure of all boarding schools in the bandit-ravaged areas. Meanwhile, the United Nations Children's Fund has expressed delight at the news of the release of the 27 students of Government Science College in Kagara, Niger State. Both said that it would be more exciting if the adopted students of Girls Secondary School, Jegimbe in Zamfara State, are released faster and safer. In a statement on Saturday, UNICEF Niger representative Peter Alkins said that children do not deserve such violent attacks, at least not in their schools where they should feel safer. Alkins expressed delight and relief to receive the long-awaited news of the release of the 27 students of the Government Science College in Kagara adopted by their in their school over a week ago and look forward to their safe return to their families. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Ganduje has sacked his special advisor on media, Saliu Tanko Yakasia, barely a day after the aide criticized President Muhammadu Buhari for his failure to end the security crisis rocking the country. The State Commissioner for Information, Mohammed Garba, who conveyed the governor's directive in a statement on Saturday, said the sacking was with immediate effect. According to the commissioner, Yakasia was sacked over his continued unguarded comments and utterances which are deemed contrary to the stance which he is serving. The statement added that the aide had failed to differentiate between personal opinion and official stand on matters of public concern and therefore cannot be allowed to continue to serve in a government he does not believe. Ganduje also warned political appointees and public servants to guard against making statements capable of drawing controversy. You're still watching OGTV Comprehensive News in English. More news and reports after the break. Do join us again. As of the time of filing this report. The Northern Elders Forum, NEF, has urged governors across the nation to explore avenues that give them more constitutional powers to secure citizens. The forum also lamented what it called the inability of the federal government to muster the will to limit citizens' exposure to criminals, saying that in spite of the assurance from the federal government today, the Northern Elders said any state governor in a bid to secure the people who took steps that brought dubious legal foundations were merely compounding the insecurity in the land. NEF, which is an elite association of elder statesmen in the North, stated this while reacting to the kidnapping of more than 300 female students in a public boarding school in Zamfara State. The forum's director, Publicity and Advocacy, Dr. Akim Baba Ahmed, spoke in a statement made available to journalists in Abuja on Saturday. He said any governor keen on securing his people should always explore issues that aid the spread of banditry at local and community levels and resolve them. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has threatened to clamp down on operators of parody accounts even as Twitter handles bearing the name of the new EFCC chairman, Abdul Rashid Bawa, have flooded social media. The EFCC said in a statement by its spokesman, Mr. Wilson, on Saturday that the unauthorized use of a person's name and photo contravenes the law. In the statement titled EFCC raises alarm on fake Bawa Twitter accounts, the Commission said it would not hesitate to bring the full weight of the law on such impersonators. The statement read in part, the EFCC wishes to alert the public on the existence of fake Twitter accounts supposedly belonging to the new executive chairman of the Commission, Mr. Abdul Rashid Bawa. Civil society groups on Saturday pushed for a downstream sector of the petroleum industry that allows market forces to determine the pump price of petrol and other petroleum products in the country. Their call came on the day as queues began to emerge at several petrol stations across the Federal Capital Territory, FCT Abuja, ahead of the expected pump price hike by the federal government. The groups under the aegis of the Nigeria Civil Society Organizations for Petroleum and Energy Security said for Nigeria to derive full benefit from its hydrocarbon reserves, the downstream sector needs to be urgently deregulated. After over 7 months closure, the federal government on Saturday fully reopened the Third Mainland Bridge in Lagos. The Minister of Works and Housing, Babatunde Fashola, had announced the closure of the bridge on July the 24th, 2020 for repair works to be carried out on it, but the government on Saturday reopened the bridge, which spans over 11.8 kilometers. During the closure, commuters went through hard times connecting the mainland and the island areas of Nigeria's economic capital as they navigated through other alternative routes. The bridge alongside the Carter Bridge and Eko Bridge connect Lagos Island to the mainland. The Third Mainland Bridge is also reported to be the busiest in Nigeria. The reopening of the bridge was contained in a statement on Saturday signed by the Director of Press and Public Relations of the Federal Ministry of Works and Housing. The statement brings to a final completion of the rehabilitation and maintenance works which necessitated the partial closure of the bridge since July 24, 2020. Now to the foreign scene. President Joe Biden's $1.9 trillion relief plan to help Americans during the COVID-19 pandemic has been approved in the House of Representatives. The vote was along party lines. Two Democrats joined Republicans who see it as being too expensive. The bill must now go to the evenly divided Senate, which has already blocked a key element, doubling the U.S. minimum wage to $15 an hour. The package seeks to testing and stabilize the economy. The cash would be extended as emergency financial aid to households, small businesses, and state government. Unemployment is close to 10%, with some 10 million jobs lost in the pandemic. The vote comes in the same week the U.S. passes 500,000 coronavirus-related deaths, the largest figure of any nation in the world. Still on the foreign scene, Myanmar security forces intensified a crackdown against protesters on Saturday, with local reports of dozens of detentions and a woman shot. Myanmar has seen growing unrest since the military seized power and detained key leaders in a coup on the 1st of February. Local reports said a woman has been shot in the city of Monya on Saturday. Her condition is not